Hi, my name is Vaughn Daly. It's the 13th of March, 2024. And today what I want to talk about is liberty. And I want to talk about liberty for a while because today's video will be relatively short, but because it's such a big subject, it'll probably be a series. So I'm going to ask, we say liberty often. What does it mean? What does it mean to you? You know, I grew up reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Still today, I say the Pledge of Allegiance. I grew up in Montana. I was born in the 60s, and I was raised to love God. I was raised to love my country. I was raised to respect the United States of America flag. I was raised to respect people in authoritarian positions, like the president and things like that. I was raised a patriot. And today, some of those things are looked down upon. And I wonder why. If you say the Bill of Rights, a lot of people don't know what those are. So the Bill of Rights is rights, part of the Constitution. They protect our rights, actually. Protect our rights that nobody can take away because they're God-given rights. And only we can allow them to be taken away. But they're being taken away and we're not saying anything. Being taken away step after step. So what I want to do is I'm going to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Then I'm going to ask some questions and then give some definitions. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, as I stated earlier, I want to talk about that word liberty, with liberty and justice for all. What's liberty? Do you know? Well, today's dictionary calls it liberty, the condition of being free from confinement, servitude, or forced labor, or the condition of being free from oppressive restriction or control by government or other power. And lastly, the right to engage in certain actions without control or interference by government or other power. So that's very short. If you look in the 1828 Webster's dictionary and look up the word liberty, it will give you a much more in-depth definition. That could be a whole series on its own. But I urge you to look it up. 1828 Webster's dictionary. So as we're talking about liberty. Our founding fathers basically came up with 28 principles of liberty. And I will cover a couple of them right now. Basically, principle number 1. The only reliable basis for sound government and just human relations is natural law. How's that tie into liberty? Natural law is God's law. There are certain laws which govern the entire universe. And just as Thomas Jefferson said in the Declaration of Independence, there are laws which govern the affairs of men, which are the laws of nature or God's laws. It's interesting. We've been given unalienable rights that are documented in the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal, and we have been given unalienable rights by who? By God, our Creator. Principle number 2. A free people cannot survive under a republic constitution unless they remain virtuous and morally strong. That's a pretty strong statement. Virtuous and morally strong. Only virtuous people are capable of freedom, a nation becomes corrupt and vicious, or I should say, as a nation becomes corrupt and vicious, they have more need for masters. That's a quote from Benjamin Franklin. There's 2 principles out of 28. I'm going to stop there because I want it to sink in. As you see, as we kick God out of our country and we're becoming morally bankrupt, the moral fabric of our country is in shreds. We're not only in trouble because our rights are being taken away, but we kick God out. We have to invite God back into our country. We have to invite God back in to our lives, back into our churches, back into our schools, back into our government. If we're going to survive as a nation, it's going to take that. If not, those people have different plans for us. You've probably heard of their Great Reset. You'll own nothing and be happy. It's all about Marxism and communism. Where God, in their eyes, is big government. We know better, right? We have to stand firm in the truth. We have to look to God for our strength and our power and our courage, because our own strength, our own power, our own courage is not strong enough to deal with our adversary. Our adversary is Satan, and the people that follow Satan have a lot of resources right now. A lot of resources. They're worldly resources, but they're resources. But they're no match what Jesus has in store. His plan. And his plan includes us, us that believe in the Lord. There is liberty because it's been given by the Lord, by Jesus. Don't forget that. Okay, I've already gone longer than I was hoping, but I hope you always walk in the truth.